What is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another edition of On the Road to Victory. I am your host, Jimmy Smith, and I hope you're all having yourselves a great Thursday. It's always a great day when you can talk some birds, baby, and it's Dallas week, so we all know Dallas sucks, and, well, we're here to talk the top 13 matchups in this Week 9 game between the Eagles and the Cowboys, and I cannot wait, and I hope you're all excited for it. I've, of course, got the injury report, stats and standings from this year for both teams, the depth charts, IR practice squad. You get to see everything about both teams. I'll try to show you that stuff quickly, and then we'll get into those top 13 matchups. But I hope you're all having a great day. Appreciate you taking the time here. If you have any questions, any comments, I would love to hear them down below. Let's talk some birds, baby. And we're going to start it off with the injury report for today. And look, the Eagles obviously getting healthier, got some good news. Cam Jurgens had that 21-day window activated, so not off of IR yet, but he is back in practice and in a limited capacity, but we're hopeful that he can play this Sunday. If not, Tyler Steen being talked about. You guys know how excited I am about him. You know my source told me this dude has the potential to be the next Brandon Brooks, so oh yeah, if he gets a shot, I'm all about it, but I'm trusting Stoutland to decide when he is ready. Now, Calcaterra, Roby, Scott did not practice again today, and Roby and Calcaterra, because of injuries, not sure that they play, and tomorrow we'll find out who's questionable, who is out, and if they get to play or practice in a limited capacity, maybe they have a chance to play. If not, we'll need other guys to step it up, but beyond that, everyone else limited. Don't think you have to worry about them, but tomorrow will be the game status report. We'll know all about that. Only thing that changed today was Sua Opeta, full participant. So maybe Steen starts over Opeta if Cam Jurgens is not ready. So we'll find out closer to game day, but looking good there. Excitement in the air. Now, Cowboys, we talked about yesterday. They had a long list, but most of them were resting. So you could see they were taken off the report. There's only 4 guys on it today. So Gallup and Kearse, both full participants. Great news for them. So only thing they got to worry about is Tyron Smith not practicing again today. And then his backup, Adoga, was limited. So definitely going to keep our eyes on that information. That's clearly very important to the Cowboys, but tomorrow will be that game status report. I'll get that out to you as soon as that information is available. But let's take a look at how both of these teams are doing so far this season. And you can see here, look, the Eagles #1 in the division, 7-1. Love to see it. Cowboys behind them at 5-2. Then you see the Commanders and Giants trailing. And obviously we're #1 in the NFC because, well, we're #1 in the NFL, 7-1, but you see the Cowboys in 4th there at 5-2. So, look, the Eagles are looking to stay atop, and obviously the Cowboys want to try to knock us down a peg, but going to be a battle to the death, as every NFC East battle is, but we know this is the biggest rivalry in football, maybe sports. You love to see it. Let's effing go Birds. Now, let's take a look at how both teams are doing so far this season, and look, the Eagles offense getting things clicking, 3rd in points and total yardage. You can see on the defensive side of the ball, 19th in points, 8th in yardage. But look, things are getting figured out. You've got a lot of injuries on defense. So, and obviously right guard is a concern on offense. So we'll get those things figured out and we will go from there. Now with the Cowboys, sorry about that. Had to pause that for a sec. But with the Cowboys, you can see 2nd in points, 15th in total yardage. And look, a balanced attack. We know they've got some firepower there. And then on defense, we know this defense is stacked. 4th in points there and 3rd in total yardage. And we'll be breaking it all down as we go through this stuff here. But look, 2 very good teams. And I think that we all know that it could go either way here. But let's talk about what these teams look like. They clearly have some injuries and things going on. So let's take a look here first at the Philadelphia Eagles, and we'll see who is on their reserves first here. And hopefully Evans and Watkins, come back after the bye. But you can see Bradley, Johnson, Maddox, McPherson, Watkins obviously can come back. But those other guys, season done for. And look, Jurgens hopefully comes back for this game, but we'll see how that goes. Now, On offense, you can see Opeta is in there for now, but Steen getting some reps today at right guard. So we'll see if some change there. Julio signed to the active roster. So maybe he starts getting more than just around 20% of the snaps. We'll see here, but excited for that and the firepower we have on this offense. Now, the defensive side of the ball, I think things are going to start getting worked out. We'll hope that Bradley Roby can play here. But, for me, Ricks, I think he could definitely try to help out here. Bradbury, whoever you want to play at nickel, move the pieces around. Sidney Brown can help in certain situations at nickel. So for me, Kevin Byard and Blankenship, they'll get on the same page. I'm excited about this secondary. They've got a tough matchup. We know the front. They are badass. We know the linebackers are doing well. Had some issues, but overall excited about this defense. Now, you see the special teams here, no changes. So Scott, Covey continue to be the return men. We'll hope that maybe they can get something going there. Now on the practice squad, we'll see if we even need to elevate anyone. We'll see with the injuries, if any of that stuff becomes important. But, clearly you've got 9 on defense, 7 on offense there. So we'll see if any of those guys are picked up. Maybe EJ Jenkins, because Calcaterra, it looks like he might be out. And then Stoll, he's been limited in practice. So we'll see if we need EJ Jenkins to step it up. But go check out that video about him. He was just added the other day to the practice squad. But tomorrow will be that game status report. I'll keep you up to date with all that information. Now, the Cowboys, they've got quite a big reserves list. Ball, Diggs, Durden, Godwin, Hendershot, Stevens, Overshown, Saubert, Vander Esch, and the Let's Go there on the IR. So not going to see them on this depth chart here, but you can see here, man, we talked about it. Got a good line. They got a lot of weapons here, so you don't want to let them get things going here. And then that defense, they are loaded. Diggs on IR, unfortunately, but Deron Bland been able to step in and do very well. So, oh boy, anybody in white you see here is new to the roster this year, just like with the Eagles, anybody in green there. So special teams, you can see Turpin, he's a bad dude. Got to watch out for him. And got the young kicker there, Aubrey. He's actually doing pretty damn well. So practice squad, we'll see if they need to elevate anyone. But again, I'll keep you updated with all of that information. Now we're going to get into this top 13, if I can get this damn thing to work for me. But you see what both teams look like. You decide for yourself what the top matchups are going to be, but I'm going to go through some information as I tell you my top 13. You tell me how you feel about it. You agree with them, what your top matchups are, whatever's on your mind. But let's start it off with number 13 and both those returners we talked about. And, we'll include Scott here too, because, we're hoping something big for him. But Covey right now, second in punt return yardage and yards per return. So doing well there. Love to see it. And Turpin, a top 5 kick returner. So he's somebody you got to watch out for in the return game. So something, we'll always talk about special teams here. So at 13, I think that's something either way, each team, maybe a home run, and you got to watch out for that kind of stuff. Now, number 12, give DeAndre Swift the ball. We know he had, he had 70% of the snaps last week. So I like that balance, 70-30. We know they're going to use Gainwell. Gainwell is a great pass protector. He had a fumble at the goal line. You hate it, but the week before had a touchdown. So we're going to continue to use him. I'm okay with that, but just a big dosage of Swift here would be nice. He's got 571 yards, 4.9 yards per carry, 3 touchdowns, and he has 28 receptions for 135 yards, 4.8 yards per reception, and a touchdown there. And Gainwell, 3 yards per carry and a touchdown, not the greatest, but again, blocking and catching the ball in the backfield. He has 14 receptions, 73 yards, 5.2 yards per catch. So, look, use those running backs and use them well. I think, they're 18th against the run. So this is a team you can try to run on. They've got a good defense, but there is ways to attack them. And, Damone Clark, he's doing well, leading the team in tackles, 45, and he's got a tackle for a loss. You've got Marquise Bell, who's been stepping it up with Vander Esch out. He's got 33 tackles, second on the team, a tackle for loss, and a pass deflected. So their linebackers, that versatile piece, Bell, who used to play safety. We talked about him before the draft a couple years ago, but I like him. So he's been doing well, actually, stepping in for him, one of their better players on defense. So I don't care either way. Run the damn ball with Swift. And let's effing go. Now at number 11 here, we're going to go with this interior. And look, Dickerson, Kelsey, we'll see if it's Tyler Steen or Jurgens or Opeta or what happens there. But Odigzua and Hankins here, they've got some big boys there. And Osa is a monster. So you got to watch out for these guys. And we talked about it, 18th, against the run and then 4th against pass. And you talk about the Eagles, 7th in rushing, and we are 7th in passing as well. So we got to protect the interior, stop the rush. We got to do all the things. And we've got some beasts in the middle, and we're hopeful that we get healthy here and get, either Jurgens back or maybe see Tyler Steen, which, again, I am more than excited for when that day happens. I'm trying to stay patient here, but very excited to see Steen. So hopeful that goes down. Now, at number 10, we've got the safety, Kevin Byard, in the house now. And I love that. You've got him with Reed Blankenship. I think this is going to allow Sidney Brown to play that third safety role, the big nickel. And yeah, I like him at nickel at times, but I think either Roby or Ricks needs to be doing that, as the starter there. And he fills in for certain roles like we talked about during the draft. And Sidney Brown's been doing well, but in coverage, he's allowed 5 receptions on 7 targets, 71.4%, and giving up a touchdown there. But Byard this year, giving up 21 receptions on 27 targets, 77.8%. No touchdowns, but a better coverage guy. But look, take this all with a grain of salt. Blankenship, he's actually been the best this year. 25 receptions on 41 targets. That's 61%. That's great. So 2 touchdowns given up, though. Don't like that. He's leading the team in tackles, though, with 48. He's got 2 tackles for a loss, 8 passes deflected, 2 interceptions. So Reed Blankenship continues to ball. Excited to see these 3 safeties continue to get on the same page and kick some ass. But they're going to have some responsibilities, not just Ferguson here, but like to highlight trying to shut this tight end down over the middle and what they're going to try to do. Maybe put Sidney Brown in that nickel, maybe do things where, he's watching Ferguson or however they want to play it. But Ferguson's got 25 receptions, 237 yards, 9.5 yards per catch with 2 touchdowns. So watch out for this young man. He's actually pretty damn good. I like this kid. Don't like that he's a Cowboy, but we got to shut him down. Watch out for the tight end. They will try to attack the middle of the field. And Dak likes his tight ends too. So watch out, ladies and gentlemen. Now at number 9, let's talk about our tight end. Dallas Goedert getting things going. 35 receptions, 360 yards. It's 10.3 yards per catch. 2 touchdowns there. So getting things going finally. Beginning of the season, a little slow, but we got a lot of weapons here. So I'm okay with it. But they've got some talented safeties here. You got Malik Hooker. He's allowed 7 receptions on 13 targets, 53.8%. That's great. 2 touchdowns, 2 passes deflected, and an interception. But he's given up those 2 touchdowns. So I think, take it all with a grain of salt, but he is a good coverage guy. But so is Jaron Kearse, 11 receptions on 17 targets, 64.7%, 0 touchdowns. He's had 3 passes deflected and an interception as well. And look, they've also got Donovan Wilson there. So some talented safeties. I'm looking forward, though, to Dallas Goedert doing some things. Like to see him attack the middle deep. I would be okay with it. Get them all over the field. But just saying, there's in defenses, especially with the Eagles and Cowboys, versatile defenses, a lot of guys have responsibility. So just for matchup purposes, we're talking about this stuff. So looking at number 8 now, Nakobe Dean back in the house. Love it. He's struggled, though. He's given up 11 receptions on 12 targets. That's not good at all. 91.7%. 1 missed tackle, though. 26 tackles for 2 of those for loss. I think, he's still young. He's going to develop and do well. I'm excited about him. But Cunningham and Morrow have done well also. And Zach Cunningham's been our best coverage guy, which is crazy. 25 receptions on 33 targets, 75.8%. Morrow, 11 receptions on 13 targets, 84.6%. So the guys that are supposed to be good in coverage are struggling a little here, but take it all with a grain of salt. But Cunningham's got 44 tackles, tackle for a loss, 2 passes deflected, a fumble recovery. Morrow's got 29 tackles, 8 for a loss, 3 sacks, a forced fumble, and recovery. So he's been playing well. He's still getting reps, but Cunningham and Dean leading the way there. And look, I'm okay with, all these guys if they continue to do well. And they got a tough task here with Pollard and even Dowdle. Dowdle's been doing pretty well, too, when he gets the rock. So 423 yards for Pollard this year so far, 3.9 yards per carry with 2 touchdowns. 26 receptions, 178 yards, 6.8 yards per reception. Dowdle's got 33 carries for 125 yards. That's 3.8 yards per carry. So not really, getting too high here, not over 4 yards for either of them. But look, they can make big plays. We know that. And Dowdle's got 7 receptions for 57 yards, 8.1 yards per reception with a touchdown. Got to watch out for these guys. And I think these linebackers, they've been doing well. Our front's been doing very well. We are number 1 against the run. So watch out for them catching the ball out of the backfield. Talked about the tight end already, but watch out for those backs also. Now, at number 7 here, we've got ourselves a good one with Tyron Smith and Terrence Steele. Now, we don't know if Tyron Smith's going to play. His backup at Doga has been limited in practice, so we'll see how that goes. But look, they've been doing well at times, but with injuries and things like that, they have given up some sacks to Dak Prescott, man, and they are tied for 18th in the league, 2.6. So the Eagles are the same way. They're very up and down. There's times they look great, and then sometimes you're just like, what the hell are they doing out there? So I think interior-wise, they've had some struggles too, but look, we got to get this, pass rush continuing. They're getting better and better each game. And, this team, 3.1 sacks per game. That's tied for 8th in the league. Reddick's got 6.5. Sweat's got 5.5. Reddick's also got 7 tackles for a loss and a forced fumble. Sweat's got 5 tackles for a loss, a pass deflection, and 2 forced fumbles. So let's see Nolan Smith get some extended reps. We've got Graham. We've got Barnett. It's such a deep rotation. It's going to be a great matchup to watch for sure. I cannot wait to see these guys going head-to-head. So if they are missing Smith, that's going to be huge for them. We'll definitely keep our eyes on that. And let's stay on the Eagles D-line here, and let's go interior. And, oh, yeah, Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Fletcher Cox, Milton Williams. And, look, we're number 1 against the run. And, we talk about being 18th against the pass, but so many teams can't even run on this damn team that they have to pass the ball. So take those numbers with a grain of salt. But Carter's got 3.5 sacks, 5 tackles for a loss, 2 forced fumbles. Davis has got 2.5 sacks, 2 tackles for a loss, and a forced fumble. These guys are monsters. We know the depth. They are so deep. We just traded Contavious Street because you've also got Tuipulotu and a Jomo here. So, my Lord, are we deep there? And it's going to be a great matchup. Tyler Smith, the rookie last year for the Cowboys, he's been playing great, much better than last year. They got Bainaz there in the middle, and then Zach Martin. It's going to be a heavyweight battle, but I think these Eagles young men can really put a hurting on them. And, hey, don't forget Fletch either. So I think it's going to be great to see this matchup, but I think the Eagles can do some damage here. And, they've been doing well to an extent. They're 11th in rushing, 16th in passing. So we'll see here. And we talked about they've been giving up some sacks. So let's see this Eagles line continue to dominate. Now, we're talking linemen. Let's talk about the Twin Towers of the Eagles. Lane Johnson, Jordan Mailata going up against Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence. And this is one of the best pass rushing duos in the league and going up against one of the best tackle duos in the league. So, look, this should probably be number 1, but got her in the top 5. And we're giving up 2.4 sacks per game. We're tied for 14th. So, again, take this with a grain of salt. So up and down. And, man, this is one of those games. And, look, we've done well against Parsons. Lane is a monster. And a lot of their sacks, are given up interior-wise or, other things that happen with Hurts. So, look, I think we know how we can play the Cowboys, but they know us too. So it's going to be intriguing. And you look at how well, Micah Parsons, he just continues to develop, and Lawrence has still got a lot left in the tank. And don't forget Dorrance Armstrong. They have him as well. And we talked about him the other day. I think they are, deep at rotation there as well. You notice we, haven't talked about their first round pick because, he isn't even getting rotation in the interior there because they've got better players, and that's unfortunate for the young man, but doesn't look like such a great draft pick for them. Now, Micah Parsons, man, look, he is out here doing his thing continuously. He's got 6 sacks, 9 tackles for a loss, 2 passes deflected. DeMarcus Lawrence, he's got 5 sacks, 2 passes deflected, 10. Oh, my God, I'm losing my mind. I can't read anything. My apologies. DeMarcus Lawrence has 2 sacks with 5 tackles for a loss. But I'm telling you, those guys are doing really well this year. Going to be fun to watch that matchup. Now, at number 4 here, you've got yourself, obviously, A.J. Brown breaking records. Devontae Smith, the young man, he's a stud. Julio Jones, the veteran, brought in here. And, They talk about how he's too old to play in the NFL. Well, Stephon Gilmore's 33. Julio Jones is 34, so that's hilarious. But, you've got Gilmore, you've got Jordan Lewis. Deron Bland's been stepping in for Diggs, playing very well. This is going to be a great matchup here. And Eagles offense, we're 7th in the league in passing, 255.1. They are 4th against the pass, allowing 178.6. Now, A.J. Brown, 60 receptions so far this year, 939 yards, 15.6 yards per reception, 5 touchdowns. Then you got Devontae, 39 catches, 482 yards, 12.4 yards per catch with 3 touchdowns. So we know what these guys can do, but Gilmore and Bland giving up 50% on the passes thrown at him, both doing very well. Gilmore's only given up 1 touchdown, 0 for Bland. Gilmore's got 2 interceptions, 7 passes deflected. Bland has 4 interceptions, 3 of them for touchdowns, 9 passes deflected, and a tackle for loss. So, holy hell, this is going to be really fun to watch this matchup, and hoping the Eagles can go out and smoke them. Now, we're talking receivers, corners. Let's apparently talk about the guys that they're laughing. Well, you're not going to be laughing for long because this team is getting things figured out. This is probably going to be the 9th different starting unit because it's either going to be Ricks or Roby, in my opinion. If Roby's ready to play, it'll be him. If not, you'll see Ricks with Slay and Bradbury and Brown dabbling in, or maybe they just have Brown starting again with Ricks dabbling in. Either way, we'll see how it goes. But Lamb, he's got 46 receptions, 633 yards, 13.8 yards per catch, and 3 touchdowns, getting things going with Dak. You've got Gallup there, 20 receptions, 224 yards, 11.2 yards per catch with 0 touchdowns. Cooks, only 16 receptions. He's got 158 yards, 9.9 yards per reception with 2 touchdowns. Now, this secondary's added struggles. Slay, 32 receptions given up on 47 targets at 68.1%. So he's definitely had a struggle, giving up 2 touchdowns, but he's got 2 interceptions, 6 passes deflected. We know who he is. He's just got to work on some things. And I think everybody just got to get on the same page because you have so many different moving pieces. Bradbury, 26 receptions on 46 targets, only 56.5%. So that's pretty good. But then those 6 touchdowns he's given up this year, they've been noticeable. But look, we know he's talented. Just got to figure out how to use him. Not exactly. I know a lot of people want to press play man. I don't think that's the greatest idea with guys that are aging. So maybe you have Bradbury do. There's ways in this matchup that I think, I would continue to play exactly how you do, but, incorporate Ricks and Roby and Brown, all of them. And I think you can shut these guys down. But Lamb's going to get his. He is a good receiver, but, focus on him, shut everyone else down, make them one-dimensional, and I think you'll be all right here. But, Ricks has allowed 5 receptions on 10 targets. That's 50%, 0 touchdowns. He's got himself a pass deflected. Very limited reps, but he's looked great in those reps. He's got a very bright future. I don't want to just throw him in the fire. You've got veteran pieces and Brown here as well who can help play that in certain situations. But hell, man, with all these injuries, if you got to get this kid out there playing, do it. I'm all about it. And, when you talk about Bradley Roby, he's only allowed 3 receptions on 8 targets, 37.5%. That's great, but he only got to play for a little bit with us. So hoping to get him back. Now, at number 2, we've got Dak Prescott versus this Eagles defense. And we're 18th against the pass. We're tied for 8th in sacks, though, 3.1. So let's get some pressure on his ass and don't let him get crazy here. And, he has, 71% completion percent, 157 completions on 221 targets there, 1,637 yards, 10 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. He's been sacked 17 times. He has 23 rushes for 104 yards, 4.5 yards per carry with a touchdown. So moving with his legs still a little bit, not too much, but look, we know he can air that ball out. We got to do everything we can to get pressure on him, shut that run down, make them one-dimensional, shut Lamb down. But look, they've got other weapons that we just talked about throughout this whole show. So, look, Dak Prescott, we know, as much as we talk crap, he's a very good quarterback. And, if we let him get going, we've seen Sam Howell, what he's been able to do. So, look, it's a week-by-week league. We shut down Tua and the Dolphins. So, I'm not saying, look, this Eagles defense, they come to play pissed off in our house. They're coming to our house. I'm looking forward to this one. So, shut down Dak Prescott. This Eagles defense, I believe they can do it. And Then we've got number one here, QB1, him, Jalen Hurts against this Cowboys defense. And look, the Cowboys, we talk about, they're fourth in against the pass, 178.6 yards per game. That's pretty damn good. And only 2.6 sacks per game, tied for 18th there. But we know they can get things going here. And look, Jalen Hurts, MVP level. I don't give a damn what the media says about him. This dude right now, 193 completions out of 282 targets there, and he's got 68.4 completion percentage rating, 2,140 yards, 13 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, been sacked 19 times, 78 carries for 280 yards, 3.6 yards per carry with 6 touchdowns. So, look, man, Jalen Hurts, we know even with a hurt knee, he last week 4 touchdowns, NFC Player of the Week. I mean, and he's got AJ Brown here, NFC Player of the Month. So, firepower on both offenses, both defenses, very, very talented. So, great matchups all across the board. But I would love to hear your thoughts. Who do you think is the top matchup? Where do you think we can exploit the Cowboys? Maybe you're a fan of the Cowboys and you want to tell me how the Cowboys can beat the best team in the NFL. Ain't gonna happen. Birds are going to smack some Cowboy ass, and I can't wait to see it. Good game. Going 8-1. Let's effing go Birds. But we know it's a divisional matchup, so it could definitely be a battle to the death. I'm ready for it. But the Eagles, they are continuing to get on the same page with their new coordinators. Injuries, getting healthier here. So let's stay patient, Eagles fans, and let's watch our birds fly. But I would love to hear your thoughts down below. If you got anything from this, do me a favor, hit that like button. You can always subscribe down below. Always happy to have new members in the family. Looking forward to tomorrow, Fan Friday, where it is your show. You get to bring all your questions, topics, whatever you want to talk about. But I'll be back tomorrow. First with that game status report, so you know who is questionable, who is out, all that great stuff for both teams. And then later in the night, we'll have Fan Friday around 8 o'clock tomorrow, and we'll be talking everything Birds or wherever the hell you guys want to take me. But hope you're all having a great week so far. Hope you're having a great Thursday night. But until next time, I'm Jimmy Smith, and this is On the Road to Victory. I hope you all have yourselves a great night. Stay safe out there. And as always, go Birds!